My dad asked me to drive him to his retirement ceremony. I took time off work, got him a custom watch, even rewrote his speech. When we arrived, he introduced my brother as the one who always had his back. I wasn't mentioned. Afterward, he told me, "You never needed praise. You're strong." That night, I left the watch on the kitchen table. 2 years later, he called me from the ER. He said, "You're listed as my emergency contact. I always knew you'd come through." I'm not proud of the way I held on to this for so long, but if you've ever been invisible to the person who was supposed to see you the most, you'll understand. This happened in Roanoke, Virginia. I'm the oldest of 2 boys. My dad, Jim, was one of those old-school Southern dads. Didn't hug much, didn't talk feelings. He fixed things, paid bills, worked overtime, and expected you to just get it. When we were kids, I was the quiet one. I followed rules, got my homework done, stayed out of trouble. My little brother Tyler was a wrecking ball, always breaking stuff, skipping chores, mouthing off. But he had charm. That kind of charm that gets you out of speeding tickets and into people's hearts. Dad always called Tyler the wild one. But it wasn't said with anger. It was said with this weird pride, like he admired it. Me? I was reliable, like a wrench or a hammer. Useful but not worth talking about. I didn't notice it so much as a kid. I just thought that was how dads were. But as we got older, it got harder to ignore. When I was 20 and had to take a semester off college to help pay bills after Dad's back surgery, he just nodded and said, "You do what you gotta do." When Tyler wrecked his first car, Dad bought him another one. When I bought my own clunker with cash I'd saved from working night shifts, he didn't say a word. I didn't need applause, but I needed to matter. So, 2023 comes around. Dad's retiring after 40 years with the state road maintenance division. He worked hard, I won't take that away from him. But the man didn't leave room for much else. Mom passed when we were in high school, and after that it was just us 3. Me holding everything up. Tyler running wild. And Dad keeping his head down, acting like love was weakness. He called me about the retirement thing 3 weeks ahead of time. Said he didn't want to make a big deal, but needed a ride down to the Civic Center where they were hosting it. I said sure. What I didn't tell him was that I'd already taken the day off. I'd already been planning something. I spent hours researching a good watch, something classic but meaningful. Got it engraved. For 40 years of service. From your sons. I even rewrote the speech he gave me. His original draft was a mess. 10 minutes of rambling about his first shovel and how gas was cheaper back in the day. I stayed up until 2 a.m. making it flow, adding a few personal notes, some lines where he could thank people. Even included a line for both me and Tyler, my sons, both of them helped carry me through. He didn't say that line. That morning I picked him up. He was quiet in the car, seemed a little nervous. I chalked it up to the occasion. He asked, "Tyler coming?" I said, "I think so." He grunted, "Hope so." He means well. Just bad with time. We get to the Civic Center. There's a big crowd. Some retirees, old buddies, a few supervisors from the department. I watch him shake hands, pat backs, smile. The man who never smiled at my school plays was suddenly all charm. They call him up. He walks to the podium, pulls out the note cards I printed. I sat in the back, next to the wall, watching every second. Then he says it. "I wouldn't be here without my son, Tyler. He's the one who always had my back." That was it. That was all. Nothing about me. Nothing about the rides I gave, the bills I helped pay, the speech I wrote, the watch I bought. People clapped. Tyler, who had shown up 10 minutes late and sat in the second row, looked surprised but pleased. Not one person looked at me. Afterward, I helped Dad out to the car. Didn't say much. He was tired. Probably didn't even notice I hadn't clapped. "You forgot to mention me?" I said as I buckled his seatbelt. He looked out the window. Didn't meet my eyes. "You never needed praise. You're strong. Strong." I dropped him off. Went inside with him. Put the watch on the kitchen table. Didn't even take it out of the gift bag. Just left it there. He never called. Never texted. I never brought it up again. 2 years passed. Then one night, I get a call around midnight. Unknown number. I almost let it go to voicemail. I answer. "Hey, it's me. I'm at Roanoke Memorial. They said you're listed as my emergency contact." I always knew you'd come through. My throat went tight. But I didn't say a word. Just stared at the wall. And hung up. After I hung up, I just sat there in the dark. The phone still in my hand, screen glowing for a second, then black. He said, "I always knew you'd come through." Like it was some kind of compliment. Like I was a tool he'd stored on a shelf, sure that when the day came, I'd still be there. Untouched. Ready. I didn't go to the hospital that night. I turned my phone off. Slept like a rock for the first time in months. In the morning, I turned it back on. No missed calls. No voicemails. Just a quiet little bubble in my brain that said, "You didn't show." And no one noticed. A week went by. Then I got a letter. In the mail. My dad's handwriting. Shaky. Big letters. Like he wrote it from a hospital bed. They say I had a mild heart attack. I'm back home now. Just wanted to say thanks for being listed as my emergency contact. Don't know who else would have come. Tyler's off somewhere, Vegas or Miami, I think. Just you and me again. Like always. No, I'm sorry. No, I understand why you didn't come. Just that. A flat line on a page expecting me to fall back into the pattern. Like nothing had happened. And you know what? I didn't reply. I didn't call. I didn't drive over. Instead, I called Tyler. He picked up on the second ring. "Yo," he said, like we hadn't gone 2 years without speaking. "It's me," I said. "That's back home." "You knew he was in the ER. A pause. "Nah," he said. "I think I missed a text from him a few days ago. I was at a thing. A thing. Vegas, man. You know. Look, is he okay? Does it matter?" I asked. And then Tyler laughed. Not hard. Not loud. Just this little chuckle. "It's always gonna be you, bro. Always has been. I'm the fun one. You're the one who cleans up." He hung up, and something in me snapped. That weekend, I drove to Dad's house. First time I'd been there since the retirement thing. The driveway was the same. The lawn was a little overgrown. His truck was still in the carport, dusty. I didn't knock. I used the spare key from the fake rock near the steps. He was in the recliner watching some old western on mute. He looked surprised to see me, but not happy, not relieved, just like he'd been expecting it. "You came," he said. "Knew you would." I didn't sit. "I'm here to say something," I told him. He nodded, slowly. "Go ahead." "You broke something in me that day," I said. "When you stood up there and thanked Tyler. When you left me out like I didn't matter." He opened his mouth. I held up my hand. "Don't say I'm strong. That's not praise. That's what you say to someone you expect to carry your crap without ever getting credit. I carried it. My whole life." Silence. He reached for the remote. Clicked the TV off. "I thought I was doing right by you," he said. "I thought if I didn't coddle you, you'd be better off. You are better off." "That's not love," I said. "That's survival. And I'm done surviving for people who can't even say thank you." He looked old. Smaller than I remembered. But I didn't let that pull me back in. "I'm not your emergency contact anymore," I said. "I'm not your ride. I'm not your fallback." I turned and walked out. Heard him say my name as I closed the door. Didn't stop. Didn't look back. A few weeks passed after that last visit. I didn't hear from him again. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel guilty. I felt like I could breathe. Then one Saturday afternoon, I got a call from my Aunt Rachel, Dad's sister. She lives out in Christiansburg, about 40 minutes from Roanoke. We hadn't spoken in over a year. She didn't waste time with pleasantries. "Why the hell didn't you tell me Jim was sick?" she snapped. "Sick?" I asked. "He had a heart attack a month ago. He's home now." She went quiet. "No, honey. I mean sick. As in cancer. Stage 3. I sat down. My knees had gone weak. "What? He didn't tell you?" "No. He never said a word." She sighed. "Figures. Stubborn old mule. He called me yesterday, asked about power of attorney paperwork. Said he didn't want to be a burden to you boys. I asked why he didn't just tell you. He said, he's done enough. I owe him peace." I couldn't speak. Rachel went on. "Said something about screwing things up with you." "About some watch?" "Said he tried to fix it but you wouldn't have it." "What the hell happened between you two?" I didn't answer. Couldn't. A week later, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. It was Tyler. "Dad's in the hospital again. It's not looking good. I'm flying in tonight. You gonna show up or what?" I ignored it. An hour later, another message came through. I get it now. I finally get it. He's been talking in his sleep. Keep saying your name. Keep saying he picked the wrong one. Thought you should know. I stared at that line. Picked the wrong one. Something started to churn inside me, anger, confusion, maybe grief, but not sadness. Not yet. That night, I found myself driving toward Roanoke Memorial without meaning to. My hands just took the wheel. Parked in the same garage I had years ago when my mom passed. The nurse at the front desk didn't ask many questions. She pointed me to the room. I stood outside the door for a long time. Inside, I could hear the soft beep of machines, the shuffle of nurses, and Tyler's voice, low, serious, a little broken. He's awake, but not for long, a nurse whispered as she passed. I walked in. Tyler looked up. His face was pale. Eyes red. Dad looked like a different man. Small. Worn out. A tube in his nose. For lines everywhere. He turned his head when he saw me. I knew you'd come through, he whispered like a reflex. But I didn't move. You didn't tell me, I said. Not a word. He tried to smile. Came out as a twitch. Didn't want pity. I just wanted to leave this life without making you carry me again. You already did, I said. You just never noticed. He swallowed hard. His throat clicked. I kept the watch. It's in the box. With your speech. Tyler blinked. Wait, what? What box? Dad nodded slowly toward the side table drawer. Tyler opened it and pulled out a small wooden box, like a keepsake chest. Inside was the watch, still in perfect condition, still in the gift bag, still engraved. Next to it was a folded copy of the speech I'd written. Tyler stared. You kept this. Dad's voice was fading. Every day I opened it. Wanted to say thank you. Just didn't know how to start. You started with Tyler, I said coldly. Dad's lip trembled. I thought I had more time. I stepped forward. For the first time I saw him as a man, not a father. A scared, flawed man, running out of time. I'm not here to forgive you, I said. But I'm here to let you say what you should have said then. Before it's too late. He closed his eyes. A single tear rolled down his cheek. I see you now, he said. His words hung in the air, I see you now. For a second I wanted to believe him. I wanted to think maybe it wasn't all for nothing, that maybe somewhere deep inside he finally understood the years I gave him, the weight I carried. But the damage was done. And the truth was, he didn't get to leave this world clean. Not after everything. I looked at Tyler. He was holding the box like it weighed 100 pounds. His mouth was slightly open. For once, he had nothing to say. I'm not here to patch this up, I told them both. I'm here to close it. Dad blinked, slowly, like he was trying to focus. What do you mean? I mean this is the end of the story. Yours. Mine. All of it. I turned to Tyler. You got what you wanted. You were the golden boy. He gave you the words. I got the silence. And now he's dying with all of it still sitting in his chest. Tyler's eyes went wet. I didn't ask for that speech. Or that shout-out. I didn't even want it. I was just there. I looked back at Dad. You could have called me 1,000 times. I was 20 minutes away. You waited until the end. That's not strength. That's cowardice. His face twisted. I didn't know how to fix it, I nodded. You don't. I picked up the watch from the box. Took it out of the bag. Held it up to the light. Then I walked to the window, opened it, and tossed the watch into the hospital garden below. Tyler gasped. What the hell? Dad's heart monitor beeped a little faster. That was never for him, I said. It was for who I thought he was. I looked at my father one last time. His lips were trembling. His eyes wide, panicked. You said I was strong, I said. So here's my strength, I'm walking out. And you don't get to die with me holding your hand. I walked to the door. Goodbye, Dad. He called after me, voice breaking. I'm sorry, but it was too late. I didn't turn back. I didn't stop. I left the room, walked down that hallway, and never saw him again. He died the next morning. Tyler texted me. I didn't reply. A month later, the lawyer handling Dad's will called. Said Dad had changed everything in the final weeks, left the house to Tyler, the truck to a cousin, a few savings bonds to charity. He left me the box. Empty now. Nothing but an apology on paper, folded like a receipt. I took it out to the backyard, lit a match and watched it burn. I'm not the hero of this story. I waited too long to speak up. I let resentment turn into stone. But I'm not the fool anymore either. Sometimes revenge isn't loud. It's just the sound of a door closing behind you. For good.